Testing.
Take your bath now.
So he don't get that from my side, he get that from your side.
Low key rock that. I'm thinking.
So you
Come on, fuck him up, Loki. Fuck him up, Loki.
Team deathmatch. Enemy incoming. Weapons ready.
10:30, 11:30.
I'm at the way. Or at least until like Wednesday over. Later. K-Rock. You got that heat on? I can smell it. Like, who does that?
I just wanted to watch the store. I didn't get to go yesterday, it was closed. The bargain hunt on Ireland, and then it's over. Can I go there?
Fucking cheated me.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what's the hell I'm getting out every year. Fucking. Take that on the
Oh, yeah.
Hold up.
I'll see you there.
Maybe. Maybe.
Say what's good.
Bunch of stuff I went to down. You don't put this stuff like that.
Losing control.
Yeah.
Do you think it will?
What?
The picture I showed you.
What about? The ones with the ones with the handmade and all that? Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate that, Tay.
Yeah, sorry. You're hiding.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up? Oh, you already know what time it is. I'm on, baby.
Enemies in the area. Contact! I'm taking fire!
Hey, what's up, brother? Can you hear me? A little bit. Yeah. Say something now? Yeah, I can hear you now, bro.
Big ups.
You have to reload that dumb motherfucker.
I shoot my head.
You overthinking what?
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Hey, this shit get real when you don't follow simple instructions. That shit'll get ugly for you, nigga.
Right here. What's that tower they're heavy on?
No. First of all, you don't. If you know what you're doing, that's what a bird dog will do.
Yeah.
A bird dog will ask how much you paying me. No, you an investor. Ain't no asking, nigga. I'm gonna tell you the difference. A bird dog don't know the contracts. A bird dog don't know how to evaluate the numbers. A bird dog is simply gonna go get the houses. That's all a bird dog's gonna do. They don't have the expertise. You see what I'm saying? They don't know how to talk to an owner, put it under property, and then go back to their buyer without asking the buyer what they want or what can they pay you. You literally say, hey, I got the property under contract. This is how much the price is. And when you telling the buyer this, you already got the property under contract. So the house is tech buyer got to pay the numbers you're going to give me. It's a demand. It's like, I got it for 36K. Buyer willing to pay 36K, guess what? You actually got it under contract for 34. So is it harder to get the buyers on your side, or is it harder to get the sellers? None of this shit is hard.
Because like, how can I put this shit to make it so simple without making it complicated?
You fucked up even asking how much can I get per lead. That's a major fuck up.
Yeah, I figured I fucked up then. Yeah.
Cause you making up some shit that you think's right is not right. That's a waste of time for you to have a $3,000 goal and you gonna go ask a buyer how much are you gonna, nigga, don't you know as an investor you determine that. Nobody else determines that. If you give the buyer the power, guess what he gonna pay you? $500 to $1,000. But
okay, so I was studying the ARV and stuff last night. I got a better understanding of it now. Like I get it now.
That's just how much the house can be sold for if it's fixed up. After it's repaired, that's what the value of it could possibly be. Based on other properties being sold. But I think you'll be okay. You haven't been bamboozled. That's just.
I don't know if I should do I hit the seller up first or the buyer?
Long as you're doing both, you good. Doesn't matter what order. Long as you do it, that's all that matters. Because if you got a buyer that's willing to buy, willing to pay you $500 to $1,000, guess what? You put a property under contract. Fuck what he said. It ain't even about what he said at that point. Because if you get a property under contract, you can literally tell your buyer, hey, you can up it $2,000, $3,000 more. And when you give him the contract, it's already under contract. He got to buy it at the price that you're willing to sell at. You're literally getting it under contract to be the seller now. And when you sell your house, you're not really selling the house. You're selling the paperwork. And how much are you selling the paperwork for? $3,000 more than what you got it. So you get it under contract. You find a buyer who willing to buy. You got a seller who willing to sell. You get it under contract with your seller. You flip that paperwork to your buyer for $3,000 more. It's really that simple. No questions. The only questions that's being asked is by you. And when you're asking questions, you're getting questions for your buyer. You're getting questions for your seller. When you're talking to your seller, you're making sure that that matches your buyer. When you're talking to your buyer, you're making sure that that matches your seller.
All right.
No questions to us. No, we don't know. It's like we're the one asking the questions and we're dictating how much everybody get. You're literally the one who decides if the seller's gonna get what they're gonna get, you're gonna get what you're gonna get, and you are the person that decides that. Nobody else.
So what if a motherfucker asks me for proof of income?
You got it. I got you. Doesn't matter. Proof of funds letter, that's a click of a goddamn button.
Oh, and one was my last question. I remember you said I would need an attorney.
Yep. You need to look in your city and find a real estate attorney or research more title company. You can do you can either have an attorney or a title company, but you need to have both, and you need to have 3 of each, so that you can build your relationship, so that you can deal with the title company to find out who in that company is experienced at what. Because you might have some people in the title company that have never done a wholesale deal. You might have some that have done them. It's just all about finding those people, calling them and letting them know, hey, do you do wholesale deals? Once you find an attorney that does, that's who you want to work with. Once you find a title company that does wholesale deals, you're good. But it's not that you're doing anything wrong. All right? What did he say? He said 500 to 1,000. So that technically mean you don't have to do any work. You just find him a good enough house and he closes it. That's how much he'll pay you. It's still not a bad opportunity, but you got to decide: do you want 500 to 1,000, or do you want 3,000 or more? If you want 500 to 1,000, go ahead and call all those sellers, figure out what they want, find the one that fits him, and send it to him. He'll pay you 500 to 1,000 if he closes. But that's the if. So instead of just sending him one property, put forth the effort to get as many deals as you can under contract, and then flip the contract to not only him, flip it to other buyers. You got 2,000 buyers in your city.
You said when I'm going into buyers, I need to have a website.
No, not necessarily website, but you can go to MailChimp. Just go ahead and get an account with MailChimp, and I'll show you how to set up the house. You basically just gonna have a picture of the house, the details, and the price. It's very simple. All of this stuff is very simple. It's not easy, but it's not hard. It's just a matter of you got patience. And I'm not talking about having patience. I'm saying you're a financial doctor at this point. You're literally the man that comes in, look at the property. You're looking at the property for your buyer because your buyer is willing to pay you 500 to 1,000. And if you don't want to play on that little level and you really want to be the boss of Elevate, and you want to say, you know what, we got multiple streams of income, the best way to do this is to say, I'm representing my buyer. I'm here on behalf of my buyer. I represent a group of buyers. Elevate represents a group of buyers. We represent buyers. The buyers are so busy buying up properties and fixing properties, they don't have time to go acquire new ones. So what do? We represent our buyers. We go find them new properties to buy. Now, I may be able to buy your house. I may not be able to buy your house. But I just wanted to come in and get some pictures, and we'll me and my team will take a look, and we'll come up with a reasonable price. But you got to just keep this in mind. There is no bamboozle. You're taking action, so you're already successful. Look at how many properties you got. You remember the lingo. You got $3.4 million based on the value of the houses that you're looking at. So you can't fail at this point. Now you're just really, the task is to create a deal. Like when I say create a deal, is literally that's your task. It's not about right or wrong. Who should I contact first? You're going to need both parties. You're going to need the seller. You're going to need the buyer. You got one buyer.
So could you do like a quick scenario?
We can call people right now. That's the best scenario to be in, because if you tell me, I talked to my buyer, he said he'll give me 5,000 to 500 to 1,000. You got 24. So which one of those 24 properties does he want? So now get out of the money. Look at the facts. What did he say he wants? Did he want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath? What did he want?
He said he rather be, what he called it, condemned by the city.
Okay.
And he wanted the houses to be in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay, so he wants basically foreclosures or something like that. Pre-foreclosures. Okay, so that's your work. So while you're calling these 22 people, you're doing work for that buyer. But he doesn't want for sale by owner. He want foreclosed houses. He want houses at a discount, at an extreme discount. He want them cheaper than the goddamn, well, I'm not gonna say cheaper than wholesale, but you just got to do the work. Don't overcomplicate something that's very simple. He literally told you what he wants, but you're not working for him. You're working for you. Okay? You're not working for any of these buyers. You're representing them, but Elevate. If your fee is $3,000, that nigga gotta come up. He playing too low. So in order trying to ask him what can he pay you, you go find a deal, put it under contract, and flip it to him for $2,000-$3,000 more. But I know when you say scenario, what are you asking? 24 properties you have, you need to go ahead and look at it like, okay, I'm about to make 3,000 on all of these. You know all of them not going to go through, but you know for your effort, your energy, and your time, you're going to get 3,000 for sitting there talking to the seller. And guess what? When you talk to the seller, that's helping you create a deal because they're telling you what they want, right?
Yeah.
So you can't create a deal without both parties. You got to say, hey, seller, what you want? You got it's a formula. Take in consideration what you want, 3,000. So for you even getting up today, you even doing any of this, for your time, energy, and effort, you know you're going to make sure you get paid 3,000. So now when you sit down with your seller, no matter what they want, cool, we're going to consider it. We're going to do our numbers. We're going to make sure that we're not offering them more than what other houses have been selling for. We're going to make sure that it's in a good enough range where you can make 3,000. We're going to make sure that they make what they looking to make, and you're going to make sure that your buyer can buy it at a decent enough price for you to make $2,000 to $3,000. When I say create a deal, literally, you can't do it without your seller, and you can't do it without your buyer. And you want to have a hard money lender on your team too. That way, if your buyer got a little bit of money and he's like, well, I can't do 60, but I can do 50. That's when you call your hard money lender and see if they can help with more capital. But it's all 1, 2, 3. Find the buyer, find the seller, create the deal, and close that motherfucking deal. So you got to stop like looking at what you're doing and just continue to do it. Go call these sellers. All right? Get the pictures, get the story, get why they're selling, get what they actually want, get the lowest that they're willing to go. Don't tell them a number, ever. Don't tell them a number until you speak to me, or you get the confidence based on, okay, well, listen, this number's too low. I need to be at this number because you know you got to make money. So while you're telling them all of this stuff, hey, I know what you want, but I'm in this to make money. You know that you're looking to make 3,000. So you can't let up on the fact that, okay, well, my buyer, how much is he willing to pay for houses?
The buyer, well, the dude I talked to, he said 1,000, up to 500 to 1,000.
No, you asking them the wrong question.
What you had? What was the question?
How much capital do you have to buy houses?
Right, I don't have no capital.
No, listen, bro. That site I gave you with the buyer's questions, it says how much capital do you have? When you're talking,
yeah, the questionnaire, yeah, okay.
So when you're talking to your buyer, hey, can I get your name? Can I get your number? Can I get your email? So when I get properties, I can send it to you. And also, before I let you go, how much capital do you have to buy houses?
Okay, man.
Because if you don't ask that, one question, then that means when you're approaching these properties, you don't even have a person that's saying that they got 60,000 or 50,000 or 100,000. You need if you talking to a buyer, that need to be your only conversation. How much money you got, bro?
All right, man.
And what type of properties you looking for? You asked him what type of properties you're looking for, but you didn't ask him how much capital he has.
Yeah.
That's the only question you need from a buyer. Look, bro, where you looking to buy? And how much capital you got, and when can you close? Those three. If anything, you need to get the number and the email so you can communicate with them. But when it comes to why am I talking to a buyer, I need to know that they got capital. If I don't know how much capital they got, I can't even send them no damn property, because it might be too much, it might be too less. So you need to call him back or text him. Hey, by the way, how much capital do you have? And how fast can you close? That's it. When you're talking to a buyer, how much capital? How much? Look, hey, seller, how much would you like for your property? Okay, done. Hey, buyer, how much capital do you have? Then you're done. Then you got to actually sit there with yourself and say, okay, the seller want this, the buyer want that. And then you will see what I mean about creating a deal. You got to not look at the money, but look at the fact that you're helping two people. One need a buyer, one need a seller. You're the middleman. You're going to be compensated by putting the deal together. But you got to make it make sense. Not only for you to make 3,000, you got to make it make sense to your seller. The seller, they can't be hurting, because if they hurting and you give them a price and you like 3,000 when you really need to be making 1,000, you know, you got to determine what's greedy and what's not greedy. So You haven't been bamboozled. You still got a great opportunity. That man is willing to pay you 500 to 1,000 if you're not educated, but you educated. So we're not even gonna take 500 to 1,000 because literally, to be honest with you, at this point, anybody on your Elevate group, you can pay them 500 to 1,000 if they send you a damn house. Because if the deal is closed, you make 3,000, you can afford to give a nigga 5 to 1,000 because they did what you taught them to do.
Yeah, I was thinking that shit.
Like for me, like right now, I could have told you some dumbass shit like that. Hey, well, since you got 22 properties, Tay, I'll pay you 500 to 1,000. I can tell you that. I can literally tell you that because you're stuck at that bird dog area where you don't know what to do, but you do know what to do. You just, it gets overwhelming because it's like, oh my God, all this shit is sitting in my face. But to whom much is given, much is required. You got one buyer, but you really got 2,000. Your prop stream trial will be up in a few days. So you got to look at time is of the essence. You can pay $100 for that, or you can get to work and you can say, you know what, let me call these motherfuckers. Let me see what they really want. Let me see if they're willing to take half. If they're not willing to take half, you know the numbers that I gave you. Like, just consider what they listed for. Consider that you want to make 3K. Consider a half offer. Consider a little bit more than half. And consider that your buyer can buy at a certain price. So the thing that you need to do now is call your buyer back or text them and say, hey, by the way, how much capital do you have and how fast can you close? So when you're starting to talk to these sellers, you know you can tell them the same thing. Hey, I got this much that I'm willing to pay, and this is how fast I can close.
Alright.
It's not hard. You just got to love the process. You got to care more about these people than the money you're looking to make. Just like with trading.
I mean, I ain't scared of the rejection part.
So 24 sellers, how many have you talked to?
Oh, God, I ain't talking about
You fear. You put that post up about fear. You're fearing. It's okay. You're not. And the crazy part is, I don't think you have fear of failing. I think you got fear of succeeding. I think you know that you can do it, that you're not doing it. You're like me. I'll have hundreds of properties, and then I'm like, oh well, and then I'll procrastinate. You know. So that's why I had to literally put other people in position, because I'm lazy and I procrastinate. So I'll have work to do and then I don't do it. But I'll have a session to do on trading and I'll do that. But I won't even do the real estate because I already know I can do it. So it's an excuse, but it's like, it's not that you're afraid. You're actually, you know you're capable of doing it, but you're not. And that's why you're getting stuck. You're trying to figure out other little things that's not even relevant. You got 3.4 million in evaluation based on properties, nigga. You got 3.4 million. All you got to do is help 22 people today. Call them, care about them. Because they ain't got no money no way. They don't have no money. You in a position where you got buyer/buyers if you apply yourself. I got 300 plus buyers. So your 22 properties, I can send them to my 300 buyers right now without a deal. And guess what's going to happen? Out of the 22, people going to be like, P, I can get that one, but I need it at this price. P, I can get this one, but I need it at this price. It's a mix.
Okay, so when do I need to contact you?
Well, you'll know, because you're either going to talk to sellers and what they're going to tell you. But you already know. So the first thing when I'm calling, hey, I see you have your price on Zillow for this much. So you already know. You don't even got to call to ask them how much they want, because we already know. So the only other task is to literally use the questionnaire. Hey, I want to ask you 11 questions. You see, that's why I went through that with you. Hey, do you have some time? I got just a few questions I need to ask on the property. That's it. When you do that, then you're going to know, okay, damn, P, I did one property. But don't call me after you get one.
Yeah.
Do 22, nigga.
Okay.
Literally call every single one today. And then guess what you've done? You put in that work, and you're gonna look at these houses, and guess what? Now you're not just gonna have houses and numbers. You're gonna have recorded sessions. We're gonna be able to watch all of them. We're gonna be able to listen, and we're gonna be able to take notes on what they really want. Where are their pain points? What are they really looking to get? Those 11 questions will put you in a situation where it's like, okay, well, you know, thank you for answering the questions. I'm gonna sit down with my team and we'll figure out, you know, a good enough offer for you, and we'll call you back. So you get the 11 questions, get off the phone. You literally get the 11 questions answered and set an appointment to go look at the house, and you get off the phone. Call them, get the questions answered, set an appointment to come and look at the property. That's it. That's what the acquisition manager does. The acquisition manager literally is in a position to get questions. They either go to the house, get the questions, or they do the questions on the phone and they set an appointment to go look at the house. That's it. And then after everything's good, they got a price in their head where when they sit down at that couch or that kitchen table and they show the owner, well, listen, I know you want this, but this is where we are. This is the price that we're willing to give you right now. And we give them 3 prices: a low ball price, a little bit higher, and a subject to, meaning, okay, look, you didn't take our cash offers, but based on what you owe in the mortgage, we'll take over that payment. We'll pay it down for this amount of years at this price. But you gotta just, 2 days have went by, you still are struggling with what? Fucking going to find the houses for your family, bro. Don't look at this like, oh my God. Look at it like these houses can feed your family. 24 properties. Call them. Don't be afraid.
I got you.
Don't be afraid. You put that post up, fearful. Don't be in fear. Just understand it's going to get overwhelming, but guess what the most funnest part about this is? The fun part is the fact that no one can tell you how much you're going to make. You are the determining factor of that, because guess what you did? You cared about that seller, you cared about your buyer, and you created a price that makes sense for all of y'all. No one else does that. No one else can do that. The seller can say whatever the fuck they want. That really don't even matter. The buyer can say what they want. But you, as the middleman, as that investor, you create the price that makes sense for who? All 3 of y'all. That's the fun part. The fact that power is in your hands. And when you look in the mirror and see, you're going to be like, I deserve to be in this goddamn position. I deserve to be able to get up, talk to people who need help, and help them. That's all we doing. The seller trying to sell, the buyer trying to buy, you want to eat. So by providing this service, you need to care. Care more for people. Don't look at the money. When you look at the money, you're going to fail. When you look at the fact, okay, this person want this person got that, I want this. So you create a number that makes sense. That's the fun part. Because when you get an owner that's telling you, hey, I can do this, then it's like, okay. It's one thing when they're like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that, but I can do this. We already know what they're willing to do is that price that they listed as. So it's only our job not to come in and overcomplicate it. It's our job to say, hey, why haven't you listed this? Have you listed it with a realtor? We give them other options. We let them know, hey, I might not be the person to help you, but I may have a buyer that is willing. So now you literally take yourself out of the equation. It's like, I might not be able to help you based on the price that you've given, but listen, this is what I'll do. Send me some pictures, or we'll come out and get some pictures, and then I'll sit with my team, and we'll see what we can do to help you. And it's really that simple. Even when you're dealing with your buyer, hey, I know this what you got, but I need this. Can you get this? So it's a finesse game, but it's really actually caring for your community and saying, you know what, I got 22 owners. That's 22 human beings. That's 22 people who want a certain number. It's your job to come in there and get them down, and get them down enough to where they can sign that dotted line. So the task at hand, you know what you got to do, but don't let it be, hey, did you call him today too? Nah, P, I ain't even do that. Because that's where the money, look, the nigga with the house got the equity or the opportunity. So if you don't talk to them, you just wasting your time. Buyer can say they want to buy all day and they might not ever buy. But if you're talking to that seller, they the one with the product. That's the connect. The real connect is the nigga with the house. Not the buyer. The buyer trying to get shit at a discount. If you were selling cocaine, like American Gangster, you got to go to the source. Who's the source? The homeowner. Because you based on your personality and the words you use and your compassion for people, you literally can have 24 houses right now under contract. But you have to believe you can do it. And you got to say, you know what? This is just like getting a motherfucking job. Let me ask you this. What's the difference between a now hiring sign and a for sale by owner sign? What's the difference?
It's no different.
You see a now hiring sign, what do? You go into that goddamn job and you say, hey, are y'all hiring? So I want you to look at it like that. Hey, I see you selling. And go and be nosy. Look in they shit. Cause you would do it for a job. You see that now hiring sign, your impulse would be like, let me go in this bitch, knowing you don't want to go in it.
Yeah, I do that shit with cars all the time.
I'm trying to tell you. So it's no different, brother. That's the fun part. The fun part is looking at the fact that this is like now hiring for homeowners. They're hiring you, whether they want to or not. They're now hiring because they put the sign out there. They let somebody know, hey, I'm selling my shit. So that's like them hiring. They're hiring a real estate agent or an investor. A real estate agent is going to go market the house. An investor can come and buy and market the house without the same fees of a real estate agent. Real estate agent may charge 7% of the deal. But as an investor, we're going to charge the same, but not even charge it because it's going to come out, not of the seller, but it's going to come out of our buyer. So we don't have to say, hey, we're going to charge you 7% to help you sell your house. We literally getting 3% because we put the contract under contract with the seller. We getting 3% because we put it under contract with the buyer. So that's 6%. And then when you close, that accounts for 1%. So you're getting 7%. So we're making way more than a real estate agent would make. And we can work with real estate agents. So you just got to look at it. Okay, now hiring, let me go get this job. That's work for you. This is free work that can benefit you based on $3,000 or more, literally. So don't look at it any other way. You want a job. You was talking about getting a job. You got 24 jobs. And guess what? If you go ahead and put these deals together, you can make way more than $3,000. You know? My first deal at 17 was 14K. Did I make 14K? No, I got 300. That was my first bird dog fee. You see what I'm saying? And that didn't require me to do nothing but find a buyer. So you got buyer and seller. You just need to say, you know what? Let me just go out here and do the work. Go in there, let them know, and take a picture. That's it. You just only go on to meet with them, establish a rapport, take a picture, and get the hell on. And then we come back and sit and we let them know, hey, we're going to make an offer today. Let them know, hey, I came to get some pictures. I'll sit down with my partner and we'll have an offer for you by the end of the day. And who's your partner? Me. We'll talk about it. We'll see what makes sense. We'll see if it's enough equity or we'll see if it's enough spread in there to make 10, 20K. Because that's when I'm coming in the picture. I want to see, can we make 10, 20K? If we can't, I got...
You told me to go after big houses?
I'm not necessarily saying big houses. Because you can do a wholesale...
You know, you said the houses with the...
You said the houses with what?
With 6 figures in it. You was like, it's healthy.
Is it not?
I mean, yeah, because you can hit the jackpot with that shit.
Shit, fuck around and do $1 million home. Fuck around and say, you know what, let me look for the $1 million homes and call the people with the $1 million homes. But you got to be ready for everything that comes with that.
Yeah, I'm wrong first.
But see, you can do 10 small houses or one big house. You can sell people a $20 product or sell one $1,000 product. It's all about your perspective and how bad you want it and what you want. You want $3,000, shit, 6 figures, yeah, come on. We got people doing, like, for me, when it comes to putting a deal together, it's about you. It's not about nobody else. Cause you the decision maker. So if it don't come through you, if you don't go get those houses today, ain't shit gonna happen. Or nothing's gonna happen. The thought is gonna be there, but nothing's gonna happen. But once you say, hey, can you send me some pictures? Oh, the pictures are already on Zillow. Now you done created a problem because you didn't even ask them 11 questions. 11 simple questions. I promise you, if you just say, let me call them and do it. Like, I literally gave you the 11 questions that were the most simple for me. Hey, I see your house is for sale on Zillow. I'm Pierre. I represent True Essence Investors. It's a group of buyers that I represent. I'm also a cash buyer as well. And if I'm not able to buy your house today, one of my investment partners may be able to. So I'm calling to get some questions. Do you mind if I ask you 11 questions? They're either going to say, hey, are you an agent? Blah, 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 blah. But that's why we say, hey, I'm an investor. I can close in 7 to 14 days. And I'm willing to give you time and convenience for a discounted price. Now, I know you want this, but I'm here to, create a deal with you today. Do you mind if I ask you 11 questions? They're either going to say yes or no. Okay. Why are you looking to sell the house? How much is the property? This, that. Like, those 11 questions is your work, your class work for every day. Every house you get, you need to get those questions answered, because now, like a doctor, you know how when you go into the doctor, you sit in that room with that doctor and they just asking you questions. Well, how does it feel? What do you feel? Like, you're a financial doctor, because you're here to allocate funds. You're here to allocate funds from your buyer to your seller through you. So you're doctoring the seller. You're like, hey, thank you for coming. They're your patient, bro. Look at it like that. The seller is they trying to get rid of something. They don't got a disease. They ain't got no virus. You see? But you got to treat it like they got a disease. They got a virus. They trying to get rid of this shit. They trying to find the remedy. We're here to give them the remedy. So you ask them those questions, figure out their pain points. You let them know, hey, thank you for your time. I'll call you back with a decent offer. That's it. Okay. And you can do that all without even ever seeing the property. If the pictures on Zillow look decent, you will know whether to ask them for pictures or not. If it's an ugly property and you can't see no pictures, that's when you say, hey, can you send me some pictures, or do you mind I come out? But keep in mind, control the narrative. We're out of time. We're out of town. So they got to meet you halfway. You're out of town. You'll be back next week. And you're actually looking at 22 properties valued at $3.4 million, and your house is one of them. Right now, I don't have $3.4 million, but based on the capital that I do have, I was considering yours. So you use these levels. Like, I'll give an example. When I'm teaching people trading, I'm going to give it to them for free. But then I tell them $2,500 to $7,000 to pique their interest if they got it. But if they don't got it, now that creates a framework of, oh shit, if I want to do this with that guy, it's $2,500 or $7,000. So you letting them know, well, look, I'm looking at $3.4 million. I'm looking at 22 properties right now. You ain't even got to say the $3.4 million. I'm looking at 22 properties right now, and I really got my eye on 3 of them. So then it's like, okay, can you buy mine? So now you put the energy all on them. They got to make a decision. They don't know what number you going to come with, but now you let them know your disposition. You let them know, look, I'm looking to buy some more houses. Right now I got my eye on 22, but yours is one of the 22. And I'm coming to help you, get rid of it. Possibly if we can create a deal and close in 7 to 14 days, that's what I'm here to do. And if they want to act...
homes close faster, right?
Foreclose, they don't have it anymore. Okay? So you're not even going to be speaking to those type of people. So your buyer wants bank-owned houses that were foreclosed. So you're not, your buyer, like with your deals you have, that's not going to help him. Because he doesn't want to deal with owners. He wants to deal with bank-owned properties that people lost. So with your prop stream, excuse me, with your prop stream, you can go on there and type in your address, and then you will see how many foreclosures you got in that area. It's literally gonna show you. But the thing about that is, if you got 300 foreclosures or 20 foreclosures, you're gonna have to pay some money to get the owner's name and number. 30 cents per lead. So that means you're gonna have to put 30 cents times 100. That may be $300 for 30 leads. I mean, not 30 leads, 300 leads. Well, it just depends on what you're trying to do. But you know, foreclosures, you can make money on that, but you got to consider your buyer. Your buyer told you, give me houses. You didn't even ask him how much he willing to spend. And proof of funds, that you don't need that if you're dealing with a buyer. The buyer need that, you know. But you'll be all right. Just don't fuck with your buyers right now, bro. Just actually do the work. You got that work sitting there, but you got to get it off. 24 owners, go ahead and you got to provide the service, bro. That's what I'm gonna put it at. If you don't provide the service, that 3,000 could never come. You provide that. When you ask a person that 11 questions, that's your 3,000 right there. Literally, because you're asking them the questions about the house, so that you can carve out your 3,000. If you don't get them questions answered, your 3,000 is irrelevant. But if you get them questions answered, the possibilities of earning that 3,000 are endless, because you actually got 24 properties. So you just got to see, okay, I just need to get up and do this. And once they answer it, your only task is to send them a contract for a price. And once you do that, then while you're doing that, you also have to be finding buyers who really ready and willing to buy it. But don't do nothing else today. Just talk to your sellers, bro. Call them. And like I told you, record it, bro. Record, like, get yourself on camera recording this shit, because you can critique yourself at the end of the day. Every time I get on phone, I record it and I watch myself, and I see, okay, damn, I hesitated there, or I see I didn't have to do this, I didn't have to do that. But you got it, bro. Just, I promise you, you call these 24, get on the phone with them, ask them the questions the exact way I showed you. Your question's gonna be different later on. You really gonna be like, well, okay, well, it makes sense for us to not take 3,000 on this deal. Let's just take 1,500. So then you really gonna be able to, you know, you got it, man.
And what you was saying in the message you had sent me about the group.
No, you got a big enough group. A few of them are adding me, so I want to help you scale up and make some money. You know, it's one thing to get 10 members, free members. But then it's another to say, okay, who really want to take it to that next level? So I want to help you get there too. Same thing. It's no different. It's the same thing with buyer, seller, with real estate. It's like, hey, you got your free students, they soaking the game up. Then who's serious? Who want to pay some money to really take it there? Because it's not that you're right. It's not what we teach is right or wrong. It's really about understanding that we're selling an experience. That's what you're doing. On both sides, whether you trading or whether you're doing real estate, you're selling an experience, and you're here to carry everybody from start to finish. When you're dealing with a seller, you're taking them from selling to close. When you're dealing with a trader, you're taking them from unprofitable to profitable. So you're selling them an experience, and you're being a vessel for that experience. So you got to create prices. You know, in real estate, you got your $3,000 assignment fee. That's the fee that you charge for carrying the seller to the buyer to the closing table. With your traders, you gotta. I know based on what I'm experiencing in your group. I know for a fact you're giving more value than needed. People need to pay you for that because you're giving. Like, I love the way that you give people a heads up. When I first started teaching, I would be on point just like that, bro. But you doing it in a professional manner to the point if a person paid you monthly, they'll be happy because you're professional about this shit. So your students are not going to down, hey, if you want to pay monthly, I'll do this every day.
They even message me throughout the day and ask me how I'm doing and shit like that.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. and you manually doing it. So it's like you got to create a price now because your time, your energy and effort, the money you gonna make is because you earning it. You providing a service to your community, bro. It's no different. It's the same thing. But with trading, you gotta be conscious and you gotta know who you're dealing with, who in your community, and you gotta create 3 different price points. You already killed it. That first price point is free. You already killed that. They done signed up for that. They been involved. But now you want to create an affordable price point and a high ticket price point so that you can feed your family. The affordable price point, that may be a 30-day like mine. That 30-day time frame, you can put a number on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, because that's 30 days of just consistent, hey, blah, blah, break, you know? And then,
Hardwire in the air.
yeah, like, and the great thing about what we teach, that doesn't require anything else.
Yeah.
It's no, oh, hey, get on the camera with me. Like, my paid students, I'm like, look, 30 days with me. When they pay, I be wanting to see their ass, but they be so good at, P, I already got it. I just need you there in case. So I don't even really be dealing with my paid students like that.
But the reason this shit gonna be so crazy when I pull it off, Pete, is because all I gotta get the capital, convert the strategy to make the capital to pro trader. Because you know people like to see results, and they don't like to see little money.
Yeah. And that's why I'm telling that's why I'm telling everybody that teaches this, you need to go ahead and pay it forward to yourself. If you're gonna teach it, you gotta require the fact that you gotta institute at this point. You got gold signals, that's one service, and you gotta institute where you're actually teaching people as a coach, as a teacher. So those 2 facts, you can be providing gold signals. That's one price that they can pay. You make up a goddamn number. I don't care whether you start with 20, 10, 50, 100, 500. Don't matter.
Yeah.
The fact that people want signals, we can capitalize on that. And it ain't nothing to be like, hey, it broke. It ain't nothing to be like it broke and it didn't go our way. Yeah, a lot of days for the last 2 weeks, not even last full 2 weeks. Last week was shitty. Out of last week, you had maybe one profitable, not even one profitable day. Every night was shitty. But did the 00 still get us in before huge moves? If you watch the video I did last night on last week, we had one day where one huge move came and we was already in hours early. All them other days, it was just ups and downs. It was drama. All right? But you got to look at what you got. You, instead of trying to make money.
You say it don't be like that all the time.
No, that's why I essentially, when I first started teaching this in 2016, I was like, a nigga do this one day, that ain't even enough. You know, that ain't even enough. You need to goddamn go through it for 30 so you can get the good and the bad. You know, because 2 weeks started last week, they like, man, this shit ain't working. A nigga started this week, it's like, man, whatever. But you do it for 30 days. When you start winning, that feeling don't compare to nothing else in life. That feeling of seeing that motherfucker blue go up, and then it's like, oh my God, you know, you got to get good at staying in, getting out. Staying in, getting out. I had a student last night. She was like, P, I know you taught me 2 years ago, but I'm in profit right now. As I was on the phone with her ass, it went back negative. So I said, well, I know you, but you know what she called me and told me? She said, P, I got my first student at $30. But as she was on the phone with me, she done went in profit and then went out. And I said, you still got a lot to learn, young grasshopper, because why would you let it go in profit and not take the profit? I don't care whether it's 30 cents. When I say wait for the break, that don't mean wait for your profit come and let it go. That mean, nigga, that was your profit for the night. You know, a lot of niggas will see it come blue and then don't even take it. That you thinking, okay, let me let this motherfucker come back, and a lot of the times that motherfucker not coming back. Cause you got the fish on your hook and you let that fish swim around. You didn't reel it in, now that fish gone. He done took your worm, which is your money in the market. The market done took your money. and that money came to you. So one of the greatest disciplines is actually after you wait for the break. That first instance of you seeing some profit, you need to be getting good at that. Because letting it come and letting it go, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
Especially if you on a small level, you can't expect hundreds of dollars on a micro lot size in a few minutes. You can't expect.
You only gonna see what, $5 at the most?
At the most, and that's on a night where this shit moving.
That's why when I put that 87 line, boy, that shit went up to 300
so quick.
I like died in this bitch.
That's why
like,
that. But see, that's.
I was like, baby, I just made $300 fucking dollars. She ain't believe me.
It ain't no game. It ain't no game. It ain't even about nobody else believing. It's about us knowing. Fuck a belief.
Exactly.
Fuck a belief. Cause once you get consistent with that type of profit, your life changes. And I'm not saying go on and buy shit. I'm saying because you know, because you like that first when I made my 300 in 1 hour, nigga. One thing that didn't come in my mind was, okay, you're done for the week. That thought never even happened. Being done, being just satisfied with that my mind was so greedy. Like I was like, okay, I need to keep doing. I could have just stopped. I could have been good for the week. Like for me, whether I make money, like I don't want to get lazy with this knowledge, but I know I gotta have something to motivate me because you'll get to the point you got 10 students. If you require all of them to pay $20, it's $20. That means you literally can say, hey, for everybody that really want to get results, I'm charging $20 for this next month. Now you're going to make $200 in one day.
Yeah.
And that's just committing to those people alone. And then that's...
You got advanced strategies you use with the O?
Oh my God. You just denied everything. I want you to ask it one more time.
I said, do you have advanced strategies like that you know, like...
I want you to ask it again. I want you to ask it one more time, T.
I said, do you have advanced strategies you use with the O?
So you're telling me that you T, you denying your...
I was just asking, bro.
What I gave you is an advanced strategy, nigga.
That shit is too advanced.
Exactly. It's advanced to the point you don't even gotta tell a nigga what a pip is. Long as they got MetaTrader 4 and they got them 3 steps. But this is what I want to do with you. You create a price for your students, and then we'll do this. We'll bring them in with me, but they can't come to me unless they paid you. Okay?
So, right, like...
You're gonna put them on with the person that taught you, but we're gonna charge a fee.
Okay.
1 hour sessions are expensive. 30-day sessions are affordable. So you do it backwards. You tell them a big price for 1 hour. I tell her $800 for 1 hour. That's for people who ready. They want to get it and go. $800 for 1 hour. Or 30 days for what? Make up a price. Right now, make up a price, T. 30 days for how much?
For about $60.
$60, you see? So you're going to bring them in with me, and you let them know, hey, P charges $800 for 1 hour, and he'll give you advanced strategies. But guess what?
What's that?
I'm not giving them nothing different.
Yeah.
The person that pays $100